Briscoe's asking, do you guys have time for New York Florida Man's Pedro video? There's some interesting info in it. Well, I saw how it was like a minute something. You want to check it out, Hitman?
Yeah, that's fine. We can do it. It won't be too
right.
long.
Here we go. Just making sure it's in here. I'll drop the link to the video for anybody else to give the views for Florida Man. There's the link to the video. So any of you can also check it out as well. So, well, here we go.
Are you worried about these millions of Latin migrants in the shadows living in America? And do you fear that America will become an absolutely closed country to the world?
I'm not informed enough. I'm too afraid of your question. I hardly remember what it was.
What?
So here's this quote on here. Yes, Pedro Pascal's father, Dr. Jose Balmaceda Riera, was investigated in connection with a fertility clinic scandal at UC Irvine. He was accused of switching frozen embryos without patient consent and other financial wrongdoing, leading to the family's relocation to Chile. While Dr. Balmaceda denied any medical wrongdoing, the investigation resulted in lawsuits and a criminal probe. Whoa, what the hell?
Is he not a U.S. citizen?
Sounds like he was, and then they, by this, quote unquote, relocated to Chile. So
Pedro Pascal?
His father and everything did, yeah.
What? Was it Trump?
Well, that from the sounds of the question to Pedro, that's kind of what this was probably. They're trying to get those little sound bites, but he apparently dodged the question.
He's like, I'm too afraid of it.
Yeah, he says he's too afraid of it, but then forgot what it was.
He took a play out of Tony Gilroy's book.
All right.
I'm an immigrant. My parents are refugees from Chile.
Relocation to Chile. Amid the investigation, Dr. Balmaceda and his family, including his wife Veronica Pascal Urita, and their two younger children, relocated to Chile. So he's not originally from there, no. Dr. Balmaceda's denial has denied any medical wrongdoing in the matter.
Interesting.
Very interesting.
So hold on, is his last name Pascal or is that his wife's last name?
It seems like he took his mother's last name for acting.
Mother.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Oh God.
Not his dad having a.
Do you see how I paused this?
What are you doing, Brad?
Oh, okay. Continuing on.
I myself was a refugee.
Pedro Pascal moved to the United States as an infant when he was 9 months old in 1976. His family fled Chile under the dictatorship of Augusto Pinochet and received political asylum in Denmark before settling in San Antonio, Texas. Elaboration. Reasoning for migration, Pascal's parents opposed the military regime of Pinochet in Chile. So like I'm seeing in some of the comments, Melissa Lord, Pedro's family are real commie aristocrats. Now things are really coming into play.
This is the way.
This is so
That's
gay.
why he says it. That's why he says it. This is the way because he's commie.
We fled a dictatorship.
Balmaceda, his wife, and the family's two youngest children went back to Chile, allegedly to avoid the criminal charges and lawsuits. He was labeled a fugitive and indicted on 20 counts of mail fraud for insurance billing. Pascal and his sister stayed in New York, and the actor maintains that his father did nothing wrong. Well, you got to stand up for family, right? Dude, this is wild. Florida man.
I did not know this.
Bro.
So wait, is he a citizen or no?
I guess that's the question, isn't it? He's not an anchor baby because he was born in Chile, but they came back to the state, so he doesn't get that availability.
So he's not a citizen then.
Well, he probably became a naturalized citizen or something like that, or got citizenship to work here and everything like that. Yeah. So, or had it because they were here in this, were originally from the States. I don't know.
He paid that $1 million that $1 million deal that Trump was.
Or it just goes to show why he happily bounces on, as in the title, Hollywood's dick so hard. So he's keeping himself protected.
Yeah. I do not know who the Illuminati are, and I won't speak about the matter anymore. That's some sketchy stuff.
Right? Hang on.
I was privileged enough to grow up in the U.S. and I'm not informed enough.
Around 40 former patients filed lawsuits against Balmaceda and his partner, and some even filed lawsuits against other patients seeking custody of children they claim are biologically theirs. Dude.
That's not good.
That is some wild. Like I said, this is why he has to pander so hard to Hollywood. Like having this stuff out.
The one that's keeping him here.
Probably. Dude, like, holy shit. I mean, the guy was already weird as hell, but this is just like, just adding to it all.
How do you know about
how is none of this really hit? How is none of this really hit news outlets right now? Like,
it's not like he didn't.
But this is why I think he's protected. He's protected by Hollywood. That's why, like it is. He plays it all. He does it all. He's got his protection.
He's got that Beskar armor.
Yeah, you don't beat Hollywood protection. All right, dude, this is some dark, crazy shit.
I'm too afraid of your question. I hardly remember what it was.
I'm too afraid of your question. I hardly remember what it was.
Oh,
what did they ask him?
That question at the beginning. He's just kind of repeating him saying he's afraid of the question.
What was the question? I must have missed it.
Do you want me to go back to the beginning?
Yeah, just for context.
Are you worried about these millions of Latin migrants in the shadows living in America? And do you fear that America will become an absolutely closed country to the world?
These migrants want revenge on his dad?
No, I don't think that's the case. They're just trying to get his question about the immigration policies in general and stuff.
I see.
Yeah. It's not about because if anything, it would be the Americans seeking revenge on his father for this twisted shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
that's crazy.
Dude, like New York, Florida, man, good find on this one, dude. Holy shit.
How'd you find it? That's my question.
Dude, let's see here.
Dark web.
It says, thank you for the link drop. Oh, dude, of course. Absolutely. No problem. Happy to. And it says, pretended to be refugees to scam people for embryos. Dude. New York, Florida man then said he came here at 9 months old. Pascal came here at 9 months during his father's scam. Then the father fled back to Chile. Oh boy. Oh boy. Well, again, here,
Why did the
I'll do it
Chilean
right
guy-
here. Boom. You get that up, dude, sir. Holy crap. And anybody else, yeah, I mean, pass this over. I'll dude. Whew. Nice find, sir. Nice find. Well, this is gonna be kind of a dark note to end the show.
Yeah.
Let me see some of the chat, see if the chat sparks things a little bit. Oh no. Let's see. Dan Blackbird said I didn't even know IDW was still around. So yeah, Harry Lemon said I didn't know this. What the hell? Jorge Lucas. Wow. Dan Blackbird says on the best people only the best people relocated to South America. Harry Lemon says I don't know what it was, but I'm terrified. Jorge Lucas, scumbag alert, dude, 100%. And he says actually evil, dude. It takes the cake on that. That's dark shit. Dan Blackbird says, would you like Pedro more if you? Oh, would you stop it? Says, would you like Pedro more if he was in the new Jurassic Park movie? He could be a wonderful pterodactyl. I walked into that one, didn't I? I deserve that. I deserve that. Harry Lemon says, this is all news to me. Like, oh my. Dude, for real. I had no idea of any of this stuff. New York, Florida man. LOL, Dan Black Red Pterodactyl. Pedro Dactyl. Briscoe says he's protected until he's no longer of any use. That's true too. That's true too. But if he can play it up long enough, he'll stay protected. Until he becomes a fall guy like Harvey Weinstein or something. Jorge Lucas says, so that's how he's getting all the roles in Hollywood and probably offering himself up here and there. Melissa Lord says, I first read about Pedro's commie parents like 2 weeks ago, but the mainstream media is trying to keep this info buried. Oh, I'm sure they are. Last thing they need is more scandals like this getting out. Nobody lacks a commie. Briscoe says, we need this info to go out to as many people as possible. Well, like it is, everybody, I dropped the link. Share it out. Do what you gotta. Good job, New York, Florida man, for capturing some of this information. Yeah. Well, with that, folks.
Well, I thought the comics were going to be the icing on the cake, but Florida man, you took the cake.
He very much did on this one. Very much did.
That's insane.
Dude, right? And he's protected and other people are thrown under the bus. Like, holy shit.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we're going to throw it on over to the ending now.